Exploring the darkness of 536 AD, volcanoes, plagues, and a sun that shone blue. The year 536 AD marks a pivotal moment in history, characterized by significant climatic and societal upheavals. This period is often regarded as the beginning of one of the worst phases in human history, setting the stage for a series of catastrophic events that would leave lasting impacts on civilizations across the globe. A mysterious dense fog began to cast a shadow over much of the world in 536 AD, effectively dimming the sun for over a year. This phenomenon drastically reduced sunlight, leading to colder temperatures and altered weather patterns, which subsequently affected agricultural productivity and societal stability across various regions. Historians like Procopius recorded these events, noting the eerie quality of the sunlight during this time. He described the sun as having a bluish tint, with daylight being weak and incapable of casting shadows. This account provides valuable insight into the severity and strange nature of the atmospheric conditions. Volcanic activity is believed to have played a central role in causing the climatic anomalies of 536 AD. Scientists suggest that a series of massive volcanic eruptions could have ejected vast amounts of ash and sulfur into the atmosphere, contributing to the global cooling and the persistent fog-like conditions that blighted the sun. The spread of volcanic ash not only affected the atmosphere, but also had a profound impact on a global scale. Fine ash particles were carried across hemispheres by upper atmospheric winds, leading to widespread climatic changes. These particles contributed to the dimming of the sun and further exacerbated the cooling during this period, setting off a chain reaction of environmental and human crises. Michael the Syrian's chronicles vividly describe an 18-month period where darkness prevailed, casting a shadow over daily life. This relentless gloom disrupted normal activities and significantly affected mental and physical health, as prolonged exposure to darkness can lead to depression and vitamin D deficiency. The sudden drop in temperatures that accompanied the mysterious fog of 536 AD further compounded the misery. Colder weather extended across many regions, leading to freezing conditions that were atypical for the season. This unexpected chill would have significant implications for agriculture and survival in general. With the sun obscured and temperatures plummeting, crop failures became widespread. Fields that once flourished with grains and vegetables lay barren. This agricultural disaster was not localized but affected vast areas, leading to food shortages in multiple regions, exacerbating the struggle for survival. As crops failed, starvation and famine followed. Without sufficient food supplies, communities faced severe hunger. The lack of nutrition not only weakened the population physically, making them more susceptible to diseases, but also created a profound sense of despair and helplessness among the people. The catastrophic conditions set the perfect stage for the onset of the Justinian Plague. Originating from rats and fleas, the disease found an ideal environment in weakened populations, crowded together in search of food and warmth. This devastating combination of climatic chaos and disease marked one of the darkest periods in history. The environmental chaos of 536 AD created a fertile ground for the spread of the Justinian Plague. As crops failed and people gathered in close quarters for resources, the disease found easy passage among weakened populations. The plague thrived on the disruption, spreading more swiftly and lethally than it might have in stable conditions. Starvation became a grim reality as agricultural output plummeted due to the climatic disruptions. With the sun obscured and temperatures dropping, growing seasons were cut short, leading to severe shortages in essential grain supplies. This widespread hunger not only weakened the populace, but increased their susceptibility to disease, including the rampant plague. The scarcity of food escalated into widespread famine, exacting a heavy human toll. Communities across the Byzantine Empire faced mounting deaths not only from hunger, but also from malnutrition-related illnesses. The social fabric began to tear as desperation set in, pushing people to the brink of societal collapse. Economic turmoil ensued as the agricultural backbone of many regions crumbled. Markets failed, and trade routes diminished as local economies were hit with a double whammish of crop failures and declining health of the workforce. This economic decline further strained the already beleaguered populations, reducing their capacity to cope with the ongoing crises. Trade disruptions were rampant as the climatic anomalies interfered with established trade networks. The lack of reliable food sources and the spread of the plague made long-distance commerce risky and unprofitable. This breakdown not only isolated communities, but also hindered the flow of essential goods and medical supplies, exacerbating the overall crisis. The Byzantine Empire, already grappling with internal strife, found its leadership severely tested during the crises of 536 AD. Emperor Justinian's rule was marked by efforts to manage both the immediate disasters and their prolonged effects. Yet, his administration struggled to maintain control, as resources dwindled and dissatisfaction among the populace grew. As environmental and social pressures mounted, migration emerged as a survival tactic for many. Entire communities relocated in search of better living conditions and arable land. This mass movement reshaped demographic distributions across regions, further complicating the empire's attempts to enforce stability and order. The pervasive military challenges of the time were exacerbated by the climatic and health crises. Traditional warfare strategies faltered as armies faced the dual threats of environmental unpredictability and rampant disease. This period saw a shift towards more defensive tactics, emphasizing fortifications and stockpiling supplies. Religious leaders played a crucial role in interpreting the cataclysmic events of 536 AD, often viewing them as divine retribution. This perspective helped to mold societal responses, with many turning to the Church for hope and solace amidst widespread despair. The Church's influence grew, filling the void left by faltering secular authorities. The technological and scientific progress that might have blossomed during this period was stunted. The focus shifted from innovation to survival, delaying advancements in various fields. As societies prioritized immediate recovery, longer-term developmental projects were sidelined, setting back cultural and scientific growth for years. Recovery efforts post-536 AD were monumental, focusing on rebuilding the shattered infrastructures and food supplies. Governments and community leaders collaborated to enhance agricultural techniques and distribute resources evenly. These efforts were crucial in stabilizing the devastated regions and preventing further societal collapse. The long-term environmental effects of the volcanic eruptions were profound. Soil fertility in many areas was affected by the ash deposits, altering agricultural patterns for decades. Additionally, the cooler temperatures led to changes in plant and animal distributions, challenging existing ecosystems and human settlements reliant on them. Human resilience in the face of the adversities of 536 AD is a testament to the indomitable spirit of the time. Communities came together to share resources, knowledge, and strategies for survival. This collective action not only addressed immediate needs, but also laid the groundwork for future societal advancements. Comparing 536 AD to other catastrophic years highlights its unique severity and global impact. Unlike localized disasters, the events of 536 AD affected vast regions across continents, disrupting societies on a scale that would not be seen again until the medieval Black Death. Modern scientific investigations into the climatic anomalies of 536 AD employ advanced technologies like ice core analysis and dendrochronology. These studies have confirmed the global scale of the catastrophe and refined our understanding of its impacts, helping to construct a more accurate historical narrative. Advances in archaeological methods have significantly enhanced our understanding of the climatic anomalies of 536 AD. Techniques like ice core sampling and dendrochronology provide concrete evidence of volcanic activity, helping historians pinpoint the eruption that might have triggered the global darkness and subsequent cooling. Historical documentation extends beyond the well-cited accounts of Procopius and Michael the Syrian. Other contemporary sources, such as Chinese court records and dendrochronological data from tree rings, corroborate the widespread nature of the climatic anomalies, offering a broader view of their impact across different civilizations. Mythology and legend have often woven the strange events of 536 AD into their narratives, portraying them as omens or punishments from the gods. These stories, passed down through generations, highlight how deeply the dark year affected the psyche and culture of various peoples. The prolonged darkness and cold of 536 AD impacted educational structures, delaying academic progress and altering curricula. With survival taking precedence, less time and resources were available for formal education, affecting literacy rates and intellectual development during and immediately after the crisis. The psychological effects on populations enduring the continuous gloom of 536 AD were profound. Persistent darkness and colder temperatures likely led to widespread depression and anxiety, influencing social dynamics and individual mental health, and shaping a generation's outlook on life and resilience in the face of adversity. Artistic expressions during 536 AD mirrored the despair and emerging hope of the time. Darkened skies and societal turmoil influenced art and literature, with themes often reflecting the stark reality and resilience of human spirit. This period catalyzed a profound transformation in the aesthetic and narrative scope of creative works. The role of leadership in the Byzantine Empire during the crisis was pivotal. Leaders were forced to adapt to unprecedented challenges, managing both the immediate effects of the climatic disturbances and the subsequent social unrest. Their decisions and actions set precedents for crisis management in medieval governance. Innovations born from the crisis of 536 AD were notably seen in agriculture and governance. As traditional farming methods failed, new techniques and crops were introduced, marking significant shifts in agricultural practices. Similarly, governance strategies were reevaluated and adapted to better address the drastic needs of the population. The Church played a crucial role during the crises of 536 AD, offering not only spiritual guidance, but also practical support. Religious institutions became centers of relief, distributing food and aid, and were instrumental in maintaining social order and moral during times of despair and confusion. The legacy of 536 AD is profound, influencing subsequent historical developments in numerous ways. This year's extreme events prompted changes in administrative policies, social structures, and economic practices, setting a foundation for how societies respond to catastrophic events and paving the way for future resilience and recovery efforts. The dark year of 536 AD taught civilizations the importance of preparedness for dealing with global catastrophes. Preventive measures developed from these lessons include improved monitoring of volcanic activity, better understanding of climate patterns, and establishing food reserves. These strategies are crucial for mitigating the effects of similar future events. Post-catastrophe, the economies that survived began showing signs of stabilization and growth. Communities adapted by diversifying crops resistant to cooler temperatures and innovating new trading routes to circumvent areas still in turmoil. This economic revival was slow, but marked the beginning of long-term recovery and development in the affected regions. Studying historical events like those of 536 AD benefits greatly from an interdisciplinary approach. By integrating archaeology, climatology, history, and other sciences, researchers can gain a more comprehensive understanding of the causes and effects of such drastic changes. This holistic view is essential for accurate historical reconstruction and learning. Future research into the dark year of 536 AD holds many potential directions. Unanswered questions about the exact sources of the climatic anomalies, the full extent of social impacts across different regions, and detailed analyses of recovery processes remain ripe for exploration. These studies could provide deeper insights into managing modern-day disasters. In conclusion, the profound impacts of 536 AD stretch far beyond its immediate aftermath. The event underscores the vulnerability and resilience of human societies facing extreme adversity. Understanding this significant historical period helps prepare for future challenges and highlights the enduring spirit of human innovation and adaptation in times of crisis.